is in the book of Mark, where Jesus says, the only sin that is not forgivable is the sin of the blasphemy of the Holy Spirit. It's not as deeply theological as many people think. How many of you have been to Mombasa in the last year, but I realized we've not even been to Kawangware in the last year because of, I haven't seen, you had to go to North Coast. How many of you? Did you inspect that bridge to know whether it can carry you or not? I'm married to an engineer, and so I was introduced to some things when we were dating in campus, theory of structures and strength of materials. But I have not kaguared that bridge to see whether it can carry my weight, and as you can see, I have quite some. But I just go through that bridge and whoop. And I am a swimmer, and I dare say a fairly good one, and with weight you can't float. But I assure you, every time I am on Nyali, no matter how luxurious the car is that is vukisharing me on that bridge, I always panic and just wonder, what if something happens? But I trust the bridge enough to go. I have doubts, I have all kinds of inhibitions, but I have enough trust to go. And God here says, I know you're new in life. After all, you've only lived 60, 70 years in this life. Some of you are a little less. At least if you have enough faith. Remember the one who came to Jesus and says, I believe, but help me in my unbelief. If you just have enough to step on the bridge and put one step onto another, even with your trepidation, I will see your journey across. And those kind of questions don't bother God. What bothers God is if we stay on one side of the bridge, what is called the blasphemy of the Holy Spirit, and doubt and don't take a step of faith. Not everything do you understand, but you cross. But some of us just hold on the other side. This young man, he was ready to come back to his father and be treated as one of his servants. And that was faith. But his coming back was reciprocated by a father who saw him from afar and embraced him. And so as we think of Omondi's life, and as we think of our own lives and wonder, do they make sense? My only counsel to you, my uncle, my aunt, my younger brother, my younger sister, my only counsel to you, trust this God. Don't stay on the other side of the bridge wondering, coulda, woulda, shoulda. When we are brought the body of a young man like this, it shakes us into reality. We can no longer philosophize on what happens life after death, etc. ad infinitum, ad nauseam. We cannot. We must face the reality and use the bridge to our Father, who is so gracious, who is so merciful. In fact, God's love for us is so scandalous that we fear to preach it in its reality because we think you take advantage of it. He is too God to be taken advantage of. And so for us today is to celebrate the life that he lived fully, and perhaps to think of our own lives and the Father to whom we must go back to one day and wonder, am I ready? Have I accepted the bridge that has been offered in God? I could say more, and many times we fear preachers because they can say more and then their favorite at the end. We are now going to have a time for offering. M-Pesa number, we will not have that today. And neither will we go long today. But would you allow me some time for us to reflect? Because this young man has gathered us in ways that if this was not his wedding or his funeral time, you and I and many of us would never have met. Actually, maybe we were in the jam together and we didn't know each other. But look how we are gathered to stop our lives and think, what? This can happen. This guy lived like there was not a care in the world. Did he ever strike to you as somebody who thought, oh, this might not go well? He was the proverbial optimist. When my car was at here and I'm thinking, the fuel station is saying they've run out of gas, how am I going to... I'm fast! You will reach there, okay. And I'm wondering, do you remember who you are in my arms? Yeah. And you're here pontificating. Mambo, how do you know? No, things will be okay. Things will work out. Things will work out. How is your small sister doing? Things will work out. I dare say to you, my brothers and sisters, as I mourn with you, things may not have worked out in the way you and I thought, but he's lived his life. Could you begin living yours? Let me ask that we stand for a time of prayer, if you are able. If you prefer to remain seated, feel at home. But I want us to take some time to pray for ourselves, to pray for these parents and the siblings, the uncles and the aunts, as they begin a very new life. Sorry about that. I've now contaminated your very elaborate Sennheiser. As they begin a very new life. You know, when you're known all your life as Mama Dindi, every time you're called that, it's just a new thing. But that same God stands at the top of the hill for you, Rose, and he says, come, let me embrace you. With all your pain, with all your worries. For you as young people, who you're wondering, could we have done better for him? Let me tell you, that's past tense. Now, that same Father stands on the top of that hill and says, come, let me embrace you. All of us with all our coulda, woulda, shouldas about done. Arrêtez-vous. Just stop it. Look at the Father who embraces, who holds out an embrace for you and says, come. Why don't we give thanks for his life? If it is okay with you, those who can, let's stand for a time of prayer. Twasema asante, twasema asante, twasema asante. Kweli hakuna, oh Baba yangu hakuna, kweli hakuna Mungu kama wewe, wewe ni kweli, wewe ni Alfa na Omega. Baba, wewe ni Alfa na Omega. Ewe na ndiposa nasema, oh Baba yangu nasema, oh Mungu wangu nasema, asante ewe Mungu wangu. Our Father and our God, you gave. And we cannot stop but say thank you. Because our lives would be very different if we never knew Daniel. And so for that little boy, that child that I held in 93, I give you thanks. For the mother that labored and brought him forth. For the father with much pride received that boy. And at that time, in our brokenness and our joblessness, wondering, will I ever be able to take care of all his needs? And then your miracle, one after the other, Toyota Kenya into DT Dobie, you provided that this boy and his siblings would go through the efforts of their parents to St. Anna's, to Mangu, to university. Thank you for the joy that he brought to that home. To Sweeney, to Daryl, to Swilly. And the jokes, and the practical jokes. And especially for his sister, self-confessed baby sister, Swilene, who lived with him, who shared a home with him for a long time, who begins a very new life wondering, what's left, what's north, what's west? Would you be very close to each of these family members, uncles and aunts, friends and colleagues whom he had good times with, some whom they had even not so good times with, that bonded them together? Lord, we are committing all of them into your hands. You are a Father who loves us scandalously. You are the offended one, and yet you're the one who hugs, who says welcome, who slaughters an animal for feasting, who gives a ring, who gives a kiss, who gives new clothes to cover our nakedness and preserve our dignity. May we know that God. May that God carry us through this time. We have many logistical things that we need to take care of, just so that we can lay to rest the body of our dear Dan at home this weekend. And so would you assist us to that end? In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Kindly do sit. I'm about to hand this over to the MC, but allow me to make some announcements. You might see me leaving a little prematurely with my group because we have another function, and so you excuse us to be able to do that, to be with one or two other families. So do excuse us. And I am told that there are different ones of us that might want to participate with the family financially towards the expenses. Now, you may appreciate that he was not hospitalized. So, as a family, we don't have any hospital expenses as such. There was, some, ambulance that brought him here. There are some expenses for this home, for the journey to our home in Nyanza. And so I know Patrick might not give us an opportunity to participate financially because the bills might not be overwhelming. But because of COVID, I suspect that not too many of us will be able to go to our home in Nyanza. So what other method do we have of showing our love to this family and escorting them? I want to plead, although the family might not be overwhelmed by the bills, is it okay for you to consider some M-Pesa gift to them for arranging these things? Even if it buys just a flower, let them know that they are loved. I have known Patrick for many years, and one of the things I know about him is that he would not like to be a burden to anyone, and sometimes will not openly give you an opportunity to help him. I've known Patrick, one of the things I know, do you know Dan's dad very well? You know how bothered he was with Dan's changing hairstyles. Do you remember Dan with normal hairstyle? Then he went dreads, was it dreads first? And then he went to long, long, long hair. And the father would just be like, what is this boy up to? Let me tell you, when Dan was brought in 93, he found his father with curled hair. So it's just aging that makes us a little more critical of your hairstyles, younger people. Don't worry, it is just aging. Been there, done that. So let's participate with them in this way. Is that okay? I'm sorry, I'm not hearing an overwhelming answer. Is it okay if we can escort them in this way? Yes. Some of you are saying yes, just what I keep quiet and leave. But either way, thank you very much. The Lord bless you. If we meet outside here, please do remind me that we are friends brought together by Dindi, our loved one. And so farewell. And the Lord bless you and keep you.
Thank you, Pastor Mulandi, for that very encouraging session. Now we come to the session for tributes, and most of you might be called up by surprise, but because you've come, I'm sure you've come with something to say. We've tried to find some people, they say, oh, we don't want to speak. I don't know why. Why would one refuse to speak? Hello? Can someone say something? Okay, it's time for tributes, and this is the way it will go. We'll start with schoolmates. Can I have the friends from St. Hannah's come forward? St. Hannah's friends. Wow, we have nobody from the primary school? Okay. So you can wave to the people around. And can one of you say a word or two for Stephanie? No? Don't be scared. There's no corona here. So, Savimbi? Oh, you know Savimbi? Okay.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm so nervous standing here. Sorry. I've known Daniel a very long time. He's one of my oldest friends and one of my closest friends. And his family, his mom, his sister, have been like a family to me. I have stayed with them for a period, I think mom can remember. Especially, it was a time when I was going through a really hard time in my life. And Daniel really stood by me. He supported me. He encouraged me when things were tough. I loved him so much. I don't even have the words to describe how much he meant to me. I know he meant so much to all of you as well. And it is a great loss. He was a great person. He will be dearly missed. I don't want to speak too much. Thank you for the opportunity. I'm very sorry to the family. We love you so much. We're still with you. You're still my family. And
I'll finish there.
Thank you very much. I think the next session will be for his classmates from Mango High School. So thank you, primary school classmates. You've now grown. I know you are now adults. Mango High School classmates. I'm also from Mango, so he was also my classmate. So Mango all boys. So those are Mango old boys. You can see I'm the oldest boy there, over 60. The others are under 30. Double the age. So Valentine was the deputy school captain, and I think I see him in the group. He will speak on behalf of the Mango old boys.
Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for showing up. We have also stood together with the family as friends in memory of a great friend of ours. And for us, it's simply to say pole sana to the family and also to the many friends that Amenya had. I have many personal stories for Amenya, and most of the time, during such times, I choose to celebrate life. And I think one interesting personal story was, I think, in Form 3. Amenya had some very good shoes. And we had Funkies, those who remember. So Amenya was my sponsor. I would go get shoes from him and go look good to the ladies around then. Today, I just want to celebrate his life. We don't know if it was long or short. It's not for us to say. But for the longest, or the time that we were with him, he was an amazing friend to really all of us. I know the rugby team is here. Amenya contributed largely there, plus many other friends in different perspectives that Amenya touched their lives. So for us, it's just to stand together with the family, kusema pole sana, and also to reflect upon each and everyone's life. Also during such times, we never know when our times will come. So as we stand here today to celebrate the life of Amenya, we just pray for strength to the family and also for good life as we continue to soldier on. Kwa mam na dada ambao labda wako hapa, tuko pamoja nanyi na Mungu azidi kuwapa faraja.
Thank you very much, Mango old boys. I think I'll ask you to sit. I'm calling them forward because I want you to feel something about the age and about the person you've lost. Okay, the next team, led by their team captain, will be the Raga Team. So Ali and your team? Unfortunately, due to COVID protocols, but we've broken them 100 times. If Kagwe comes here now, he might arrest all of us. We can see people outside, both to the left and to the right. But we'll do it quickly. We'll have the captain of the Raga fraternity represent the whole team. Ali?
Praise God. Praise God again. I believe that we can always find joy in, we can always find a reason to celebrate and find hope, even in this situation. And it's a sad moment for us also as the rugby team. We shared a lot of memories together. Amenya was one adventurous person on the field, off the field, he was a brother, a friend, a protector. The role that he played, if you understand rugby, is as a flanker. Nathan can attest, is mostly to protect other players. Say, for example, wherever you saw Amenya, you know he was going to handle the job. And he was dedicated and committed, and we truly will miss him. But despite all that, we always say, in good and in bad, give thanks to the Lord. Thank you.
Thank you very much, the Raga fraternity. We hope you'll continue being with us and supporting us. But Mr. Julius, you have something to say?
Hello to you all. Yes, my name is Julius Nguki Mungai. It is me that you have been seeing on the groups, making the pledges and everything. So my story with Amenya begins all the way from the year 2008 when we joined Mangu together. So we were both from private schools, so we were bougie, going to Mangu. So we get there and we're like, here, it's you and it's me. So I told him, you take care of me, I take care of you. Where you go, I go. There began our friendship. Soon enough, we became friends, so wherever he went, I went. So he decided we're going to join the rugby team. So he said, my number, for some reason, has always been 6. I was born on the 6th. Whatever happens, I was always number 6 in my school. The multiples of numbers, or whenever I got my KCC marks, it was a multiple of 6. So he said, when I join rugby, I'll be number 6. I said, my number was 14. So I'll be number 14. But number 14 was far from number 6. So I said, I'll go to number 11. It's closer to number 6. So we stayed pamoja. And as Ali said, he protects me, I just shine. So he was the person who would protect me in all of the scenarios. Then we left high school. Then we were now friends afterwards. When we go to Strathmore, I also joined Strathmore with him. When we went to University of Nairobi, I also joined. And we always spoke. I don't think there's ever been a period of more than 2 weeks that we've never spoken. And in all that, it was always joy, it was always greatness. He came to see my family at home, I went to see his family at home. And so I always remember all the joys that we had. And so I choose to celebrate him, I choose to remember him as a brother. In fact, he used to tell me that I want to be remembered as a feeling. And I think if any of you know him, there's a feeling that you get whenever he comes to wherever you are, or you just feel happy. You don't know why. You may have been having a bad day, but you feel happy. So he used to say, remember me as that feeling. Be that feeling that elates your mood. And so I'm going to carry that feeling all through my life. I may have lost a brother, but I'll keep the feeling. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Raga Team. I hope people outside can hear me now. Sawa? Thank you. Thank you, Julius. I just knew the name and the phone number. We've been talking and sharing a lot, but today I can see you're also a very eloquent speaker. You might just be the next MC to this session. From Raga Team, we now move to college. The representative speaker from the college will be Prince. I don't know if that's Prince Charles or Prince. Prince, are you around? Do we have college mates to the left down here? Let's see how many college mates are around. Let's see. We want to celebrate you. And Prince, you can come forward. And, thank you very much. Where is Prince? If Prince is missing, any person who would like to speak on behalf of the college mates?
How's everyone doing? God is good, and all the time. I walked in today, and I think I looked at the seat. I saw the booklet with Amenya's smile on it, and I just thought to myself, whoever picked this photo was spot on with the photo, right? There's a lot of memories of Amenya, and you see that smile, and you can hear him saying, it's like Pastor said, it's going to be okay. It's fine. I met Amenya in 2012 when I joined the University of Nairobi, like everyone standing here. And for me at least, and I know for a good number of us here, he was one of those people who you get along with immediately. There's no tension in trying to figure out if he's someone you can talk to, someone who would share with you. And we spent many nights at his place. I saw yesterday on the group people talking about playing FIFA. And a lot of us spent endless nights at his place doing just that. I think we all got to know your family. You all welcomed us. And I think we all shared. And I'm grateful to see everyone who was able to come out today and celebrate Amenya's life. And just keep carrying that memory of him, that smile, that brightness that he gave us, the joyful moments. And it's gonna be fine. I don't have much else, but I'd just like to say we're standing with you. To Swilin and Daryl out there, Sweeney and Daryl, we're here for you as well. Swilin as well. I know you have some of our numbers. Don't hesitate if you ever need any of us. I think as a unit, we're all standing in place of Amenya in that sense. As an older sibling, as a voice to listen to talk to. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, college mates. I think you'll take your seats. And we have the next tribute coming from Mr. Michael Muga, that was the housemates. And before that, this session is live, yeah? If you go to YouTube, especially those people who are outside, and type in Geoffrey Maina, you'll actually have this service live on your phone. So you can tell your friends who are away, who couldn't make it, those who are in the diaspora, they can just go to YouTube, type in Geoffrey Maina, and they'll see this service live. So, Omuga Mike, you are on. Your turn.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. So my name is Michael Omuga. I think I want to start from the first day I met Daniel. Okay, so Julius has said they are from bourgeois schools, right? Him and Daniel. I happen to fall in the same category, so we were from bourgeois school. So when we got to Mangu, it was all funny because you meet everyone from every background and you're like, oh, okay. So even if they like Kunendanga, it was happy. So we happened to be in the same class, me, Julius, Daniel, and a bunch of other guys. We were in One North. So I remember we were in One North. The first days of school, like no learning goes on, so you're literally just reading atlases and dictionaries, if you guys can remember that period. So I remember in the process of us reading atlases and dictionaries, the whole thing about birthdays comes up. And so Daniel is like, okay, my birthday is the 6th of May. I'm like, that so happens to be my same exact birthday. So now we go into the whole conversation of, okay, so who was born first on 6th of May? And then his second name, Omondi, happens to mean in the morning. So he's like, bruh, what conversation are we having? So, I mean, he beat me at that. And from that point onwards, it was always me versus him kind of thing. Fast track to when so we had to sort of join sports, quote and unquote, juu hatukutaka kuhandwa. Anybody who was in Mangu can relate. So if you joined a sport, you were good. So I remember Daniel joined rugby. And I remember asking him, because the first day he went for practice, they were playing 10 by 10. So anyone who's played rugby, you know what a 10 by 10 is. It's literally, you're learning how to tackle, and this is day one, day uno. So I remember him coming to prep and he was like, hey, maze, hii rugby, ni lazima. So I remember picking up on this conversation, and then when we got to Form 3, I used to play basketball. So I sort of kind of convinced him for a period of time to come to basketball. And he was very quick with things, so he picked up the sport really fast. I mean, for you to be able to go for a left, right layup and be able to shoot in a span of 1.5 weeks, it's not easy. But then again, Julius was there to convince him that, contact was his thing, and he went back to rugby. Anyway, so we finished high school. So I remember there's a period of time when we were trying to figure out what we're going to do. So Daniel akantambulia Strathmore. So any guys who went to Strathmore with Daniel? Yeah, a couple of guys. Strathmore was a thing back then. So unamaliza tu campus and you're shoved off to Strathmore, quote and unquote. So I remember asking him what he wanted to do, and he was really good at like drawing stuff. So I think that and the fascination that he had with engineering and like constructing things, like I decided anataka kufanya architect. And I remember he had a long conversation he was telling me with the dad. Basically about that. And I'd say that's when the vigorous life of Daniel really came out. So I just have a couple of moments of things that happened, and yeah. How many of you guys remember Kaze? Okay, so for context, Baba Daniel, Kaze is the blue car. We used to call it Kaze. So I remember the number of memories we have inside Kaze. I remember Kaze Kichomeka. I remember, that car went through all sorts of things. And it was always funny, just thinking about the memories and, the ways in which Kaze brought us together. I remember spending countless, times at their house in Otiende. I remember spending a couple of nights at their house in Otiende. Those were beautiful moments. I just want to highlight a couple of people who came across Daniel's life during this time. And some of the things that I think even Daniel, wherever he is really grateful for. Where is Nile Mwaniki? He's right here. So Nile Mwaniki introduced this term we call tranquilo. Tranquilo is just, calm, chill, collected. And I remember after Daniel, after Nile mentioned the word and they met at University of Nairobi, I remember it was one of Daniel's favorite words. So you do anything and you'll always be, hey, chill, tranquilo, tranquilo. There's another one that Nila introduced called Ubuntu. It's like some togetherness. So every time you do something that is away from that, you'll be like, hey, Ubuntu, come together. Where's Bob? Neswenta? Okay. So I never knew Daniel liked reggae that much until I met Bob. So, they would come and then they'd listen to some old, really old Bob Marley songs. I was like, okay, that's interesting. For anyone who knew Daniel, you knew hip-hop, trap, those were his kind of things. I didn't know he had a reggae side to him. At this point, I'll also mention Malonza. Where's Malonza? Is he around? So anyone who knows Daniel and his love for FIFA, wanajua tu kuna mtu mmoja alikuwa anaheshimu. Ikifika ni FIFA, I think it's Malonza that you'd respect. So I remember last week, alinitandika FIFA, he beat me 8-1, I think 6-2 and 5-0. Nikamwambia nitamwitia Malonza. But sasa, Malonza hukukuja in time. I started staying with Daniel last year, around June, and we moved quite a bit. So we stayed in 3 places. Anyone from West Point? Okay. So we had a swimming pool at West Point. Backstory, I never knew how to swim. After drowning in class 3, nilikata swimming pool sikanyag. Even at Mangu, we had a swimming pool, I said never. So I remember yesterday we were chilling in the house, and then Daniel is like, hey, utaishi hivi, as in we live here, there's a swimming pool upstairs, you just can't swim. So I remember he's like, okay, let's go upstairs. So we get to the pool, then he's like, where's your phone? He literally pushed me into the water. He's like, Leo, today is the day. So I remember, that, and then a couple of lessons from him. Within a week and a half, I was swimming. So, he taught me how to swim. There we met really awesome people who took care of us until, because of our loudness, we had to leave. When we left West Point, we went to Sifa Apartments just on Bagathi Road. Now, at that point in time, we had Baba Daniel's very impressive sound system. And let's say those are apartments. So then again, apartments, that sound system, for those of you who have been to Otiende, it's very boom, 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 right? So again, we ended up leaving Sifa Apartments after like a month and a half or so. And then we moved to Mudama Heights. It's along Mombasa Road. Now, at Mudama Heights, a couple of things happened. I remember the day we were moving, both of us were really broke after paying rent. So we called Mama Amenya and we asked her to send us money for pizza. I tell you, we enjoyed that pizza to the last piece. Pizza is I don't know why. That was really nice. Last week on Thursday, we had the requiem service for one of us from Mangu. He's called Sasha, the late. And I remember Daniel couldn't make it for that particular requiem. So I remember when I got home, and then we were having a conversation. He was like, how is it that when we are mourning, it gets to bring us in ways that, doesn't, in ways that do not happen, like when we are alive. And Yakasema, he wished that everybody that was in his life really looking forward to start the work with the dad. A couple of projects were coming through. So, he was really pleasantly happy. Yeah. I think the one message I have for everybody who's known Daniel, he'd want this to be a celebration. He'd want you guys to remember the times you spent with him. Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Michael. That's a satanizer, isn't it? Great. I think we are through with most of the tributes. I'd like to say a few things because in another 3 or 4 minutes I'm required to be somewhere else. And my friend Julius will just complete the rest of the program, which is very easy. Julius, you'll deal with the family members because we have Auntie Lorraine around. She'll come and say something. Then we have the sister, Celine, who is also here. We have the father, Patrick, who is here. But I'd prefer the mother speaks first, then Patrick will speak last, because he'll also give us some guidelines about tomorrow. I know that the body will leave here in the morning at about 7 o'clock to Ugunja. Ugunja is somewhere some 25 or so kilometers from Busia on the main Kisumu-Busia road. There's been a bad outbreak of corona in Nyanza, and yesterday they were trending at 36% of the country. So those will be traveling. For those who will be traveling, I just ask that you actually observe the COVID protocols very well. I would also advise that if you are passing through Kisumu and those areas, do not stop and go shopping or just look. If you want to see Kisumu, some will be going because it's excitement to see new areas. Please just stay in the vehicle and stay at the lake, the boat as you cross through the hills, Bunyore Hills, down to the Busia Road. COVID is real, and Patrick can tell you, he tells me he's a victim, he's just survived. Some of us have been victims, but maybe we don't know because of our hardiness. The other thing is we have several routes. If you do not wish to go through Kisumu, though you don't save yourself much, you can go at Mount Summit, don't turn to Kericho. Just go straight ahead to a turning on the left to Lesos. Through Lesos, you go to Kapsabet, you connect with the Kakamega Road. Either way, you go to Mbale, past Mbale, or you go to the right to Sigalagala. It's all tarmacked through to Ugunja. If you go through Mbale, you'll come through to Luanda. I think it's Chabakali. You'll come to Luanda and then you proceed. So those who feel like traveling, that's the caution that I thought I would share with you. Even today, I've struggled with all of us because we are in a morning mood, but I can see the social distance not being respected a lot, except for those who are sitting inside. But let's try and really follow this protocol because it's about you, not your neighbor, not your friend, not your father, not your mom. To Patrick, Rose, and Swilin, this is family to me. I think they've grown together with all our kids. I got my son here, Eric. From childhood, we visited each other's homes, Oshagos. We've had a lot of time together. So for me, Dan is my son. Daryl is my son. Sweeney is my son, my daughter, and Swilin is my daughter. So I'm here as a parent. And one word to the young people. The environment you people are growing in is tighter than the environment we grew in. When I was growing up and you made a mistake anywhere on the street, any adult person will smack you or tell you to lie down and cane you because they found that you are not following the rules of your age, isn't it? Today, we gave birth to you guys, and before you were born, you had shoes on. Some of us wore shoes because of secondary school. It was a must. And sometimes you think things are very easy because we have cultured you to believe that when you want something, you get it. On behalf of all parents, I apologize because that's not how the life is. You need to develop more resilient throughout life. And in case you're having any challenges facing you, it doesn't matter which type of challenge, please talk to someone. I'm one of the people you can talk to. I've done corporate wellness, I've handled youth programs and such. Let's talk, because when we talk or when we share, the problem is half solved, isn't it? So let's not keep things, let's not indulge in things that we know or have been told that they may not be good for us. You need to live for your grandchildren. I have my son here, I don't care much about him. I'm waiting for his kids. Those will be my friends. And then he should be waiting for the kids of his kids, isn't it? That's how you create our future. So if you want to look at the future, please look at your grandchildren. Don't look at your dad, oh, my dad didn't do this, oh, my mom. No, 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 no. Look at what are you going to do so that your grandchildren will say, Babu, grandpa did this. So life is like that. We gave you life, young people, so that you can give life again. It's a heritage. However badly you behave, or however well you behave, it's the genes that we gave you that are disturbing you. So some of us are not very good genes, or we didn't marry very good genes. The environment can modify the way you live, and you look forward to your grandchildren and great-grandchildren. Don't look at yourself. You're expired stock. You're actually expiring. Like me, I don't think there's anything much I'm living for except waiting for my day to die. But you guys are waiting to bring up your children. You're waiting to see your grandchildren. Are we together, guys? So I urge the young people I've seen here, lots of young people, thank you very much. Your group has done a lot of good work. I've seen the contributions you made. I've seen your bright faces here. The eulogy you're giving about Dan is excellent. Thank you, and now I'll hand over the mantle to a young person, because I don't want to hand to any of these gray-haired people here. They are boring, isn't it? It's your day, it's Dan's day, so we are celebrating Dan, and therefore the youth should take the lead in this. I think we have relatives here when you call the family. Make sure all the aunties who are here and the uncles and whatever, they come up and they say hi. Then one will represent them. Asanteni sana.
Hello again. This is my first time being an MC. I've just auditioned and the job has been given to me. So let's move forward. So I believe now we want to go towards the family. So are there any aunties around from the mom side? Or any uncles around from the mom side? Do we have any from the dad side? We have an uncle from the dad side. Yes, just please stand up. So this is one of the uncles. So would you like to say anything? Okay. So Aunt Lorraine, are you around? Auntie Lorraine? She's not around, huh? Okay. Oh, Uncle Adam, are we here? Yeah.
When you finish, you tell people you when they do that.
Uncle Adam, are we here? Okay, so. Speak for us. I need to. Yeah, say something. So, okay, with that now I think, Swilin, would you like to say anything? Thank you.
Hi guys. For those who came earlier after I did the eulogy, Daniel's baby sister, the last born, and growing up, me and Daniel were very, very close. I remember he used to be like, you know, it's a firstborn, lastborn thing. And even when my other siblings went, it was always me and him. I've met most of you, and after this, please come say hi to me. I'd like to see you guys again, and thank you so much, so much for giving him good memories. There's a group that I joined for his friends, and the pictures are so lively. You guys gave him life. I know we didn't spend so much time, enough time when I was in high school, but you guys were there for him, and I'm very, very happy for that. I know Daniel wouldn't like me to be sad, and today I challenged myself. I wouldn't actually hide my eyes, because I have to speak on behalf of my siblings and people who couldn't come. For me, I'm not sad. I'm actually, I'm happy that he made it this far. And even me at my lowest, I remember Daniel was always there for me. And whenever I'd be negative, he was always optimistic, and he'd always make sure everything was going well for me, and not even for him. Wherever he is, I know he's there for me also. And the beauty about all this, I know I will find family in you guys, and everything happens for a reason, and he wouldn't want you guys to be sad. And I'm glad you guys could take your time to be here with me and my family. As I represent my siblings who are abroad, I know it hurts them so much that they wouldn't be able to come, but it's okay because I'm still here, and I'll always be strong for Daniel. And I know God will open doors for me and my family even during these trying times. For everyone who has contributed, I'm happy, and I really appreciate you guys. I didn't write a speech because I just wanted everything to come straight out of my chest. Yeah, I think that's all I have to say for now. Daniel, wherever you are, may you keep shining, and may your soul rest in eternal peace. I'm gonna miss you so much. I'll have no one to visit, or you won't even get the chance to visit me ever again. But I know you're still in my heart, and I'll always love you. Thank you.
That was beautiful. So now at this point, I would like to ask if Mama Dan would want to come to speak.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Rose Otieno. I'm Daniel's mom. Daniel being my firstborn son was a very wonderful thing to me. The day I gave birth to him, I was so happy. In fact, the moment I just gave birth to him, I had to look at him. I counted the digits of his fingers to see, is he abnormal, is he normal? When I saw there 5, I was so happy. In fact, the nurse wondered, what are you laughing at? And I said, oh, I gave birth to a normal boy. She also was so amused, and she said she's never heard of this. Anyway, he was a very joyful boy, and when he started school, the first day he went to school, he started school at the age of 3 years, 9 months exactly. It was, we were living in Olympic. It was sort of like a house. Okay, these days, that time it was looking like a house, bedroom, 2 bedrooms and a sitting room. So being a new student, his class was like a bedroom. That first day when I went to pick him from school, he told me, Mom, these people have put me a bedroom. And I laughed. I said, oh yeah, but it's still a class. Were you taught? He said, yes. The next day, he was moved to another bedroom. He came again and reported. He liked reporting. Then, I think in 4 days, he was taken to him. He thought it was a sitting room, but it was a class. And today, Mom, I've been put into, he used to say, sitting room. I laughed. I said, no, but that's good. Maybe that's progress. The teachers know why they're doing. They know why they're doing that. And that was that. So as he continued in the school, apparently, as young as he was chosen to be a prefect. Then the next week, he came, Mom, today the teacher put sellotape in my mouth. Oh my goodness, I just burst out laughing. I asked, why? Because I'm a noisemaker in class. So I asked him, what are you going to do about that? I don't know what I'm going to do about that. You tell me. I didn't know what to tell him, but I told him, can you just be calm when in class? He said he'll try. So what the teacher did, I think, was to make him prefect so that he'll be busy checking on the rest. And that really made me know that Daniel was a very brilliant boy. He progressed. He was a joyful boy, very funny. We made fun, close to me. We spoke a lot. I'll miss him dearly. This was a sudden thing, it was a shock to me. I still do not believe he's the one I'm seeing right in front of me here. But I guess he knows the reason why he did this best. We cannot tell because he didn't leave a note, he didn't tell us anything. I spoke to him on Sunday. And upon me just to take this road shock. I didn't want to believe that it really happened, and at least now I'm seeing yes, it happened. So guys, I just want to thank you all for coming, Daniel's good friends. Thank you so much for the support and everything that you've done. So just looking forward to put Daniel in a good resting place. And we hope for the best. Thank you so much. I don't have much to say, and have a good day. Okay.
Thank you so much for that. It was wonderful. And we're grateful for you. At this point, I'd also like to invite Baba Dan to come and say something about our dear brother.
Good afternoon to all of you. Thank you for coming. I didn't know for real that Daniel had so many friends. And just to put that into context, I came when we brought the body, and the following day or the day after, I lose memory of days now. I came here and I saw quite a number of people at the parking. And this is a place where many people come. And I'm sorry for most of you who met me that day. My assumption was they had nothing to do with me or nothing to do with Daniel. So I got in, did what I was doing. Then I'm walking out. Shock on me, all of them were here because of Daniel. I apologize for those I didn't talk to that day. But that's just going to show how the life of a young person can evolve to an extent that even the parents have got no idea the network that they've created. Daniel, when he was born, I was still in college. So you can imagine, you've got no idea how you're going to raise a child. He was brought to college in Nairobi, and I held him. I was in the final year. I remember in hall, I forget, hall 9 or something like that. He was on my bed, and my roommate was looking at me mischievously, saying, what have you been up to when you're on holiday? But there he was, a really sweet boy. He was born when I was in college, so the mom brought him for me to see for the first time. I was overjoyed. And the mom had to go to, because she turned up to the country, she had to go to I think they call it pre-med. There's a course they attend just to be socialized to the Kenyan system. And I remained with him. And at that time I finished my schooling, so I was having a small shop. So I used to share the space behind the shop with Daniel. He was about 7 months old, if I can remember. So I used to wash his nappies, air them in the morning before I opened the shop. He would wake up, I'll feed him, and the mom will come over the weekends. But what the neighborhood kids knew, if Daniel cried when he was next to you, the dad would come running. So kids used to rotate around Daniel like as if he was some kind of, you don't touch him too much, lest he cries and the father comes for you. But it was just the kind of child he was. He was very engaging, but because of his inquisitiveness, he used to get to walk everywhere to meet other children. And when he stayed at the shop, because there was a barrier, any person who came, he greeted. So his socialization started at a very early age, and I'm not surprised at the variety of friends that Daniel has. He got, in my view, the best opportunities we could afford him as a family. He went to the schools that could afford him, the opportunities in life, and really, he's also exposed me as a parent to also very interesting situations as he grew up and was finding his space in life. I think I went to a police station for the first time because of Daniel. And it was fun after it, because when he got out of there, maybe I didn't really want to be near him. Not because of COVID, but because of how they had treated him. I didn't like it. But anyway, that is, to me, just part of challenges in life and part of growing up. So it's nothing abnormal about the experiences that, as a parent and as a young man, you could go through. So there's all this excitement around Daniel's life that you cannot condense or expound in this kind of space. However, the last moments with Daniel, a couple of months ago, about 3 months ago, he came and he told me he wanted us to have a discussion. So I said, please come. So we have a small dealership on Enterprise Road. So we deal with motor vehicles. That's been my career ever since I started employment. And we had a sitting, and he told me, you know what, I'm not really keen on this architectural kind of work now. Let me try and get something that I can do that is a bit stable, that is a bit structured, can give me work ethic. I wake up in the morning, have some process or some activities, and in the evening, I call it a day. And I said, okay, that's fine. Let's walk around the facility. So we walked around every part of the facility just to show him what we're doing and asked him, are you sure you want to join us? And he says, yes, I want to join you. So we took time and told him, you know what, the policy is that we don't really like to have children or relatives working in the organization because sometimes it creates misconceptions about entitlement and things like that. But he said, we'll make an exception for you because you've actually said you really want to start and learn the trade. And I told him, like everyone else, you come for an interview. And Daniel, as it were, that day in the morning, came in, and I told him, I'm not going to interview you because I'm going to be biased. So go and meet one of the directors, Mom Yvonne, and the finance person, lady, and they're going to interview you. But because of many other things, he stayed for about an hour before the interview began. Later on, he actually thought it was part of the interviewing process to find out how impatient or patient he was. So he thought that the CCTV cameras were actually capturing his activities. So in the showroom, he was busy drawing to show that he was actually engaged. So it just shows you the kind of mindset he had. He looked at the space, he looked at things and conceptualized them in the way that they made sense to him. The day on Sunday last week, no, on Thursday last week, he sent me a text and told me there was a project now that he had finished. He was going to come and join us on Monday. So I told him, okay, your appointment letter is ready. Come on Monday and we start. Then I got a call from one of his friends on Sunday afternoon. And he said Daniel wasn't okay, but, well, it is something that they could manage. So I said, okay, fine. If it's something that you can manage, it's okay. The long short of it, after that conversation with Daniel at 4:30 on Sunday, on Monday morning when I was at work at about 6 or 5, I see a missed call from Lorraine, the auntie, and my mom up country. And it was a bit unusual that early to look at calls coming in from those quarters. So I called Lorraine, and Lorraine told me, you know what, Daniel had an accident, an incident, and is passed on. And I recall the conversation I had with him just that evening. Very calm in his conversation. The details of that conversation was asking a question whether I could or I could not, and I explained to him, and he said, okay, whatever our conversation was. Yet, I was expecting him to report to work the following day, because that's really was the expectation. So I go to Lorraine's house, and the series of events of 1993, the child that was Daniel, when I carried Daniel that day, he was in a body bag. That really stung. But I looked at it and said, really, the time that you had with Daniel was pleasant. He was a child that had a phenomenal brain, fast processor. He created his own path. And that's really, in my view, what I really feel happy about having had Daniel in our lives. And for those who knew him, I think the loss is personal. I can't ascribe that to any of you. The mom, they were very close, I'm sure about that. Sudan, we have stories about Sudan and Daniel, which those are just family fun moments. But today I know Daryl, if you're watching us, because you said you'll watch us today. Sweeney, if you're watching, because you said you'll be following the proceedings. Yvonne, and many more of you, Auntie Chandy, Uncle Morris, Dolly, there are many of them who said they wanted to follow these proceedings live. Just know that we know you will have wanted to be here, but because of time and space, you're not able to be here today. However, I just want to appreciate each and every one of you who's been here. It is overwhelming in terms of your comfort that you are joining us here today. There are many more people who have worked in the background, really, and are not able to be with us today for one reason or another. At home, in Nairobi, we still have to travel tomorrow in the morning at 7, leaving for Ugenya. And on Saturday morning, thereabouts, we'll have the final resting process for Daniel. Just an amazing, amazing child to have. As a firstborn, amazing. I just want you to look at your program. as just the final thing. Any of you thinks that that title, celebration name, is a typo? Who thinks it's a typo? Who knows what it is? Okay, it was very deliberate to have it written like that. Actually, it's celebration in a language called Latin. So it wasn't a mistake. When it went to the printer, he sent it back and said, "You made a mistake." He said, "No, that is the right spelling for that word in another language." Why was it selected that way? Because Daniel is a young man and he's lived his life with the net, Googling, finding out information. I expected most of you to Google that word to find out whether it was a mistake. It wasn't a mistake. And Daniel liked precision. So Daryl, when he got this draft, he sent it back and said, "Let me play with it, because I know how Daniel would have wanted the word spaced in the program." So those of us who are even alive are touched by some things that Daniel did. Because the brother, Daryl, had been impacted in a certain way by Daniel, and he was saying, "This is the way I think he would have done it. So let me do it that way before we have the final print." Thank you so much, all of you. We really appreciate your coming. We didn't know, and I'm sure I don't know, and I don't think any of the family members can remember all your faces. It just gets to show for us the love you had for Daniel. We truly appreciate it, those who impacted his life and those whose lives he impacted. Thank you so much, and God bless you.
Let's clap one more time for the family. So at this juncture, now I'd just like to inform you that there is a book, a condolences book, that we can go ahead and write down information, and we can give our contributions and whatnot. But we thank you so much for coming today. We are very happy. I'm so pleased. Even me myself, I only know probably like a few of you, but it's good that he had such a big reach. I'm happy that we're all here for him and for the family, and may you be blessed and have a good evening. Thank you. So we are now going to do the viewing of the body. So it's going to be in the order of guests first, and then family will be last. So I'm hoping that we can form like a line, starting from that end, coming this way. As we're proceeding that way, then we shall continue the family last. Okay, so let's just organize ourselves. Just stand up. Let's just all stand up. So before we do this, I'll just make a short prayer, and we can proceed. So, mighty Lord Father, I thank you for this day. I thank you for being with us. I thank you for our brother. I thank you for the family. I thank you for allowing us to be with him for the time that he was with us. We bless your holy name, and we bless that whatever shall happen at this point and going on forward, that you shall be with us, you shall guide us, and you shall help us endeavor in whatever we do. We thank you and we bless you. In Jesus' mighty and holy name we pray and believe. Amen. So let's just head on to that side. Everybody please. Also, for those who are planning to travel, they will be carrying Mukute here, who will be outside there. So let's meet and brainstorm. Thank you.
Thank you.